So I haven't opened it yet. The dude I talked to, the caller, he said that there was this suitcase partially like buried in the ground that he said he's been noticing for like a week, and his dog keeps trying to get to it. So he said that he pulled it out today and to see what was in there because it was kind of heavy, and he noticed like a head and he just left it and called the police.
It was an ordinary Monday evening in Cleveland, Ohio. A man was walking his dog through a field near Saranac Playground, a field that kids play in, a field that neighbors walk past every single day. But that night, the dog ran toward the fence line and wouldn't come back.
How you doing, sir?
Police were called near East 162nd Street and Midland Avenue, right next to Ginn Academy, just after 6 o'clock Monday night, after a dog walker made the grim discovery.
It's a suitcase. I've been walking past it for about a week now, and I walk my dog over there, and she keeps stopping and she sniff a little too long. I pulled it up, unzipped it. I couldn't really see, and I opened it up and hid.
Officers later found a second shallow grave nearby, with another suitcase containing the body of a second young girl.
When the man went to see what had caught his dog's attention, he noticed the dirt had been disturbed. Something was buried there, partially, almost hidden. He unzipped the bag. And what he found inside would set off one of the most disturbing investigations Cleveland has ever seen. Within 24 hours, police had found not one, but 2 shallow graves. Within 4 days, they had a suspect in custody. And that suspect was the girl's own mother. You are watching Uncrimely, and this is the story of Amor Wilson and Mila Chatman. Before we go any further, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. We cover cases like this one every week. The stories that don't always get the coverage they deserve. Subscribe and don't miss a single one. Let's get into it. March 2nd, 2026. South Collinwood neighborhood, Cleveland's East Side. It's a Monday night. The field near East 162nd Street, Midland Avenue sits beside Ginn Academy, a school, a place meant for children, and that's where this story begins. A dog walker follows his dog toward the fence. The dog is digging. He leans down. He unzips a suitcase that's barely hidden beneath the surface of the earth. He sees a child's severed head. He calls 911. Police arrive. They process the scene. They expand the search perimeter. And approximately 25 feet away from the first grave, they find a second one. Another suitcase. Another shallow grave. Another child. 2 girls, both buried, both in suitcases, separated by less than the length of a school bus. The bodies were badly decomposed. Identification would not be immediate, but investigators got to work. DNA testing was ordered, and days later, the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed what many were dreading. The girls were half-sisters, 10-year-old Amor Wilson and 8-year-old Mila Chatman, both of Cleveland. DNA relationship testing confirmed the connection between them. But the next question, the one that would haunt this investigation, was already forming. When did they die? Before we go any further, we have to stop, because these weren't just names in a police report. Amor Wilson was 10 years old. 10. She was the older sister, the one who, in a photograph from 2019, is seen at a doctor's appointment, just 3 years old, her whole life ahead of her. She was bright-eyed, curious. In that photo, she's held by her mother.
Say hey, Grandma.
No.
Say it. Say it.
No.
Mila Chatman was 8. Pink was her favorite color. According to her father, Deshaun Chatman, Mila swore that she was a princess. He described her this way, and I want you to hear these words. She was happy-go-lucky, always smiling. She was always happy. She was a kid's kid. This man, Deshaun Chatman, had not seen his daughter since she was 3 years old. That was 2020. 5 years. 5 years of trying to find her, trying to reach her mother, trying to get answers. And the last time anyone confirmed these little girls were alive, no one can say for certain.
I remember them building tents in the living room and making pallets on the floor and having the girls like just doing stuff like being kids.
Deshaun Chatman told 3 News he had been trying for years to gain custody. He says both fathers offered to take the girls in, but claim they were unable to locate the mother.
I love both of them. Both of them don't deserve this.
Amor was 10. Mila was 8. They were half-sisters who shared a mother. They reportedly shared a life, a home, and in the end, they shared the same fate. I don't know how long she's been gone, how long she's been dead. I don't know how long she's been missing, Deshawn told reporters, but it could have been prevented.
He didn't want his face to be shown. He said he wanted the focus to be on the sisters.
This didn't have to happen like this. Mila had a father, present father, that wanted her.
He says he hadn't seen his daughter in years, claiming Henderson cut him off after he called Child Protective Services after she threatened Mila.
Come get this crybaby ass baby or I'm gonna kill her.
Was that just a frustrated mom?
I don't know if that was a frustrated mom or a deranged woman, but I'm gonna go with the deranged woman if you ask me.
That sentence. Let that sit. Because the more investigators dug into this case, the more that statement began to carry an unbearable weight. Within hours of the discovery, Cleveland police launched a full homicide investigation. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood, they pulled surveillance footage, they conducted witness interviews, they worked the area around East 162nd Street and Midland Avenue, a residential street just steps from where the bodies were found. And here is where the investigation took a critical turn. Police executed a search warrant at a nearby residence, a home in the same neighborhood. In fact, alleged to be within sight of the field where Amor and Mila were buried. Inside that home, they found a suspect. Aliyah Henderson, 28 years old, the girl's mother. She was detained Wednesday evening, just 2 days after the suitcases were discovered. Police described the speed of the arrest as the result of canvassing, witness interviews, and surveillance footage, but have been deliberately tight-lipped about exactly what evidence connected Henderson to the scene.
It's alleged in this matter that the defendant did cause the death of her 2 daughters, 8 and 10 years old. The badly decomposed bodies of the 2 little girls were found in shallow graves in Cleveland in suitcases. Your Honor, the defendant is 28 years old. She scores a 1 and a 1 on the PSA, has no record noted on the PSA. Your Honor, based on the nature of the allegations and the charges in this case, I would ask for nothing less than a $2 million bond. I would implore the court to consider setting a $2 million bond, cash surety at this point, for the record. Thank you.
On Thursday, March 5th, 2026, she was formally charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of child endangering. She was booked into the Cuyahoga County Jail. Bond was set at $2 million. She did not enter a plea. Cleveland Police Chief Dorothy Todd addressed the public. These were 2 young lives with their entire futures ahead of them. Our detectives worked tirelessly and with great care to identify those responsible. But here's what police did not reveal. No motive, no cause of death, no timeline. This is where this case gets psychologically unsettling, because the timeline raises questions that no one has yet been able to answer. Mila's father, Mila Chatman, says he last saw his daughter in 2020, when she was just 3 years old. He spent years trying to locate her. He says he attempted emergency custody multiple times. He contacted child welfare agencies. He tried to reach Henderson through phone numbers that, at some point, were no longer hers. She was always leaving, Chatman said, describing Henderson's pattern of moving frequently and cutting off contact. Amor Wilson's father reportedly faced the same wall. Both fathers allegedly were attempting to be more involved in their daughters' lives. Both allegedly were blocked at every turn. Now here's the question that has been haunting investigators since the very beginning. If these girls' fathers hadn't seen them in years, and their bodies were found badly decomposed, how long had Amor and Mila actually been dead? The Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner has not released a cause of death. Decomposition alone suggests the girls may not have died recently, but officially, no one has said. And yet, Mila Chatman alleges he contacted Child Protective Services. He alleges he reached out repeatedly. He alleges the agency allowed the girls to remain with their mother because there was reportedly a home and a bed. A home and a bed. 2 children are now dead. And their father says he begged for help. Whether the system failed these girls, that is a question this community is demanding answers to. right now. When police executed that search warrant at Henderson's residence, the same home, blocks from where the bodies were found, they were expecting to gather evidence. What they found inside stopped them. A child, a third child, alive, inside the home.
When Cleveland police arrested Aliyah Henderson on Wednesday, a third child was in the home, but we're told that child appeared to be okay. As for Henderson, the jail is her home for now.
Police reported the child appeared to be in good health and was immediately placed into the custody of the Department of Children and Family Services. Let that sink in for a moment. Aliyah Henderson allegedly lived within sight of the field where her two daughters were buried. A third child was reportedly living in that home. And according to everything we know, no one, not a neighbor, not a teacher, not a social worker, had reported those two little girls as missing, which raises an entirely new set of questions. Were Amor and Mila enrolled in school? Were they visible to anyone in that community? Were they ever reported missing? And if not, why not? The girls had been so thoroughly invisible that even their own fathers, who were allegedly actively searching, could not find them. It is one of the most chilling aspects of this entire case. 2 children, gone. And the world seemingly didn't notice, until a dog did.
If there are issues raised, even from neighbors, listen. Take the precautions that are necessary.
Do you believe the system failed Mila?
Yes, I do. They failed Mila by not listening to the concerns that were being raised.
For now, her family focused on grieving, asking for time and privacy to try to process this tragedy together. Thankful for the support of a community, still trying to process it themselves.
Their life is pretty much snuffed out, and by the one who was supposed to protect them. So that hurts. It really hurts.
As of right now, this investigation is still very much open, and there are several critical questions that have not been answered publicly. How did they die? The cause of death for both Amor and Mila remains listed as pending by the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner. The bodies were described as badly decomposed, which means forensic analysis is ongoing. Police have made it explicitly clear that certain information will not be released to protect the integrity of the investigation. When did they die? This may be the most haunting question of all. Given the state of decomposition and the fact that their own fathers hadn't seen them in years, some in the community are asking whether these girls may have been dead for months, possibly longer. We simply do not know. What was the motive? Investigators have released nothing. There is no publicly known motive, no mental health history, no prior criminal record, no domestic violence history has been attributed to Henderson on the record. How did they end up in suitcases? The specifics of how the girls' remains were placed in suitcases and buried in that field have not been revealed. Whether this happened quickly or over time, unknown. What did CPS know? This question may end up being the most consequential one of all. If what Deshaun Chapman alleges is true, that he contacted child welfare agencies and was turned away, then this case carries systemic implications that extend far beyond one woman and 2 murders. Cleveland City Councilman Mike Polensek said it plainly. 2 young children are gone. Their whole future is gone. We have no idea what happened, what they went through toward the end of their lives. And right now, neither do investigators. On a Monday evening in Cleveland, a man walked his dog through a field. His dog found what no one was looking for. 2 little girls, half-sisters, 10 and 8 years old, found buried in suitcases 25 feet apart in a neighborhood they once called home. Their mother now faces 2 counts of aggravated murder. She sits in the Cuyahoga County Jail on a $2 million bond. Their fathers mourn publicly, with grief, yes, but also with something harder to sit with, something closer to guilt. The guilt of men who say they tried, who say they reached out, who say the system turned them away. A third child is alive, safe now in the arms of the state, and a community has filled that field with balloons, stuffed animals, and photographs of 2 little girls who deserved so much more. Amor Wilson was 10. Her name meant love. Mila Chatman was 8. Her father said she swore she was a princess. They were invisible to the systems that were supposed to protect them. But they are not invisible now.
She is happy, always smiling, always cheesing. She was a kid's kid, girly girl, kid's kid.
The question that continues to haunt this community, the question that no arrest, no arraignment, and no conviction will ever fully answer, is simple. How long were these girls suffering before anyone noticed they were gone? If this case hit you as hard as it hit me, share this video, because Amor and Mila deserve to be known. They deserve for people to say their names. Share it. Drop a comment below telling me your thoughts on this case, and subscribe to Uncrimely, because we are going to keep following this story as it develops. Justice for Amor, justice for Mila. We'll see you in the next one.